Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Goodbye. Jesus Christ.
Hey, welcome, Tony. We're live.
Yo.
Hi, everybody. We are Naked Roller Rats. Thanks for joining in and getting to watch some D&D. I'm Tam, your guys' DM. Go by she, her.
Hi, I'm Tony. I play Artem Petrova, the Shadow Monk, and we both go by he, him.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I play Arista Tidesinger, the Glamour Bard. Both Arista and I go by she, her.
Hello, I am Finch. I go by she, they. I play Rubilla Bertans, the Tabaxi Fathomless Warlock, who goes by he, they.
And Ethan, I'm playing Isaac Crow, the Transmutation Wizard, and both of us are he, him.
And I am Brad. I play Baal Tarboro, the Vengeance Paladin. We both go by he, him.
Ball, you're muted.
No,
I was gonna say,
I'm not. Damn this mic, I
He's just
swear.
building suspense.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm Brad. I play Baal Tarboro, the Vengeance Paladin. We both go by he, him.
It's vengeance. Speaking of vengeance, it's because of the way that you started the stream that you then had to endure
I know, it's my own
Mhm.
fault.
being muted.
Karma came back quick on that one.
Don't
Yeah.
blame the mic. It's all the mic's
Mm-hmm.
The all-powerful mic.
fault.
While we get into wrap up of last week, go ahead and roll luck dice for me, everybody.
Hold on one moment. I was an idiot and I forgot to get the page up.
Yeah, I'm still back, so I'm just gonna.
I'm still capped as well, so I'm not gonna roll.
Beautiful.
I think I'm below. I got to 8 last time, I just remembered.
Fine, I'll roll then.
Here, Tam, you can.
Oh,
I donate those 3 to you. You can have.
That was beautiful.
Yo!
Thank you.
Hang on a second.
Way to go, Isaac.
Yeah, now I'm maxed out.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I maxed out.
Hey, I'm gonna take that 3
Yep,
Artem.
there you go. See?
Let's see. I think that's the 3rd week in a row I've rolled a 1. Let's just find out, shall we? Yep, literally
Oh.
3 weeks in a row I've rolled 1s.
Good
So it's fine. It matches my trajectory. It's okay. Gotta stay on theme. Sweet. So the last time that you all were together, you had gone to talk with the Pirate King, Ruby, who did a pretty decent conversation of talking with the Pirate King of, and the Pirate King had asked why your party was there. You had mentioned that you were there in order to help Sorna, and also to help Herona as well. He gave you the option of which god to care about, and Ruby, slightly differing to the group, but as well as just kind of standing on their own, asked what they could do for Sorna, and to which it was requested to find the Black Spot Gauntlet, and you all were then later instructed. Let me get you onto the map that's going to show you all the places we're talking about. Had been instructed that in the Angler's Depths is where the Black Spot had been taken. It had been stolen away from the Pirate King from another party, and they did not seem to make it very far. But they have not been able to retrieve it yet, and so down in the depths is where you must go to retrieve it. Mention any other treasure down there would also be helpful, as collateral for then giving you the Black Spot. after that conversation went down, y'all felt pretty good. Decided to head over to the Rat's Nest in order to make camp for a little bit, figure out what else is going on, get some intel on what's going around. To which your party just, of course you do, just rolled disgustingly high perception checks on absolutely everything. And so you guys found out that located at a tavern / inn / brawl pit is this place called the Hollow Coin, to which a member of the Black Talons crew is going to be fighting there in about 2 days, in order for him to continue to reclaim his title. It seems to be someone who keeps coming back to reclaiming title, but depending on where he's out and about, he misses the window to come back and fight. So often he very much so is a player here, referred to as the Duke. While you all were in the tavern, before Artem almost just absolutely murdered some pirates out front, asking for information, you had made the agreement for Ball and Artem to participate, as well as Ruby, to participate in the upcoming fight. Ball and Ruby under their original name, and Artem under the name of Egbert the Frail. And the while there was discussions going on, Ball had seen a oh my gosh, a tiefling in the back quarter. I completely blanked on the race. I was like, he has horns, that's it. Oh
god, there was a horny guy in the corner. What was his name?
I know, right? It was just, talking to Ball. It's great, awesome, beautiful. A tiefling by the name of Volish, who also bore the mark of the Black Talons, talked with Ball a little bit. Let him know, hey, there's quite a few of us about. The Black Talons isn't necessarily just a crew. It seems to be kind of like amongst a pirate guild here, while Ball is particularly searching out some of these members. Potentially, there may be more than just the 4 that Ball had originally met with and talked with. Afterwards, there was talk about Ruby going and doing some investigating. Ruby had chatted with the sword, the lovely owl god that lived there, and had I gotta say, when talking with important people, Ruby did okay last week.
He didn't get himself or anyone else killed, which is progress.
Right, exactly. But yeah, in discussing with Vizen about some information, then the blessing of pass without a trace from the sword was given as well. So, Ruby, you were sent to check out Volish, is that correct?
I believe so. To tail
I have my notes right.
By Ball. To see what I can learn about him.
So don't forget, I also gave you.
Okay,
it's
yes. I also
inspiration. Yes.
Yeah. So it's plus.
So I guess the question is,
mm-hmm.
So the way that it was happening, I thought that Ball and Ruby went off and had that conversation on their own, and so I don't believe Arista would have been there to give Bardic at that point.
Sense.
Am I wrong in that? Or is that correct?
I think the pass without a trace should be enough. I have a +6, unless I roll abysmally.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Anyways, I don't.
Even if I roll a 2,
you have a
it is an
+6.
18.
No, you're good. Right, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was where I thought that they were. So So yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Okie dokie.
With all of your stupid modifiers.
That would be a 25, thanks to Positive Out of Trace.
Yep. Hey guys, do you know how many 25s you have rolled in this campaign? It's a little bit dumb.
Too many. You gave me this sword without Positive Out of Trace. You gave this to me.
I know I did, and I understood the consequences. However, 25 should not be the benchmark for any of your guys' rolls. I just need you all to know that.
You know, I could have done better. I only rolled a 9. Could have been a 36.
Right. I mean, but like I'm just fuming from all of the 25s that Isaac has rolled. We literally rolled 27s last week, or a 24 last week. Like, guys, I'm just saying, you're really good at rolling dice. Even the algorithm really likes you guys. Okay, sweet. So, y'all are still hanging out at the Hollow Coin, or was there other places in the Rat's Nest that you guys wanted to go to while Ruby is investigating and following Volish?
You could remind me, I think when we came in at the blockade, I was told to ask for Leah. Like, I can't remember why I was supposed to find Leah.
They just saw you and saw how scary you are and said, go find Leah. She's at the Rat's Nest.
Okay. It's coming back now.
Also, I did not... You'll be so proud of me. There was a point where Isaac could have apologized for something, and I did not RP that for you, so there you go.
I went back and watched it, and I was laughing my ass off when I saw that.
Good. I just wanted
Honestly,
to know, as your DM, I was true to character.
It was that, and then struggling to like get Isaac's mannerisms down was also the other spot I laughed really hard at.
I think Isaac, like, even then, Isaac saying, like, obviously Tam saying, but Isaac saying, you didn't get us killed, is kind of the nicest thing he said about Ruby in a while.
In a hot minute, yeah. Okay.
Well, Ruby's out and about. Isaac is gonna try and figure out where he can find Leah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you bringing people with you in this endeavor?
I'll ask if anyone wants to tag along, but I'm not gonna like pressure anyone into going.
Okay.
Like Arissa does want to like explore, so she'll probably tag along silently. So definitely for sure.
Okay. Which leaves Artem and Ball. Anything that you two would like to do with this day, or are you guys wanting to stay at the Hollow Coin for whatever reason?
I'm just gonna stay at the Hollow Coin and wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the
Home
plan.
base. Okay. Sweet.
I'll get a third glass of goat's milk.
Okay. There comes a point, probably towards the end of your third glass, Artem, where you like tap the counter for another, and Ed looks to you and goes, "Okay, hang on," and like goes over, and you just hear, "Do we have more?" And goes, "She's plumb out. I don't know who orders this much of this," is basically what you hear behind the counter at some point.
I just go, "Oh, that's fine. If you got some goat cheese, I'll take that."
Ed's face just kind of goes white and is just, okay, and like goes back and eventually brings you a cheese. If you want to try to investigate if it's goat's cheese, you're welcome to, but it is a cheese.
Oh, that's all. That's fine. I'm lactose intolerant, so yeah, I eat it.
I want to be sitting on the other end of the hollow coin.
I just keep walking and sitting right beside you.
Yeah. Just Ball goes and sits. Artem comes over at some point, and then Ball stands up and goes sits, and then Artem comes like just puppying around the bar. Actually, if that is what happens, there very much so comes a point where you guys see Volish stand up and actively leave, like the closer that you get kind of over towards him, and eventually leave the tavern. And we'll get to where he goes with Ruby in a second. Isaac, do you want to roll a I'm gonna say either an investigation check or a persuasion check, depending on how much you want to talk to people.
Yeah, I'll avoid talking at all costs. We'll go with investigation.
Beautiful. The DC was way lower for persuasion, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Need to be here.
Listen, years of practice, all right? It's all it takes.
Okay. I just need to check something really quick. Nope, that sounds about right. Okay. Oh, geez Louise. It's fine. I will just give dice luck to all of you. It's fine. Relatively quickly, as you are kind of out and about and checking in on different places, just kind of keeping your ear to the ground with everything. While you guys are at the market, the Maw, with everything that was going on, you do hear a conversation go on of someone specifically dropping Leah's name for the pickup for an order. It seems like it's at a kind of like spice stand, like spice and herbs and like all that kind of stuff. Could be a little bit on the like side of an apothecary, but like isn't quite that intense. It just seems like mostly spices is what they really kind of delve into. And you see this younger, looks like a Triton kid, probably like maybe 13, if that. Hasn't quite hit like that like growth spurt that like teenage boys do, so he's still just not quite gangly yet and everything. You see him collect this package from this vendor and start to make his way through the crowd. He seems to be wearing a very kind of specific tunic, and you do see, especially with a 19, there is it seems to be like wearing some kind of almost like prayer bead across his neck with a symbol of a circular serpent on it. It seems to be where he goes with that, and he ducks off into the crowd. You had previously seen a similar symbol on the church that you guys had walked past, but had not further investigated at that point.
Do I have a chance of like, is he pretty integrated with the crowd? Is he kind of hard to follow at this point?
I mean, with the 19, I'm gonna say he's not hard to like follow, and it's not like shoulder to shoulder crowd control right now, because it is a little bit later in the day. But yeah, like if he wanted to duck and hide, he probably could. But it seems like he's just really intent on his errand of just going back to where he needs to go.
Okay, I'll follow him for a bit to the best of my ability. If I lose him, not the end of the world. I'm not gonna like run after him, if that makes sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, if you're keeping an eye, you do very much so see him go into the crowd, out of the Maw, and eventually over towards the towards the chapel with the never-ending serpent that you saw previously.
Okay. In that case, Isaac's just gonna kind of just make a note of who's kind of going in and out, any sort of patterns.
This chapel looks like it was made and then burned down and then made and then probably shot down by a cannon at some point. Like it's a very rough looking building that everything has been kind of hodgepodge back together, much like the rest of almost everything that you touch on Hellgreen, or not Hellgreen, on Lindward, very much so is that flavor. But here, it looks like they've tried to clean it up. It looks like whoever is obeying whatever god you worship here, they've tried to make it look a little bit nicer. Every once in a while, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of foot traffic here. Every once in a while, you do see like a patron go in, but they don't stay in for a very long time. And like you see a human woman step in. She seems to have pretty simple sailing garb on her, nothing too crazy. Probably is in there for maybe like 2-3 minutes, and then comes back out. You see a couple of other figures go in together. They all seem to be part of like the same crew, is kind of the vibe that you get from them, and they all go in again, maybe in there for like 2-3 minutes, potentially just a little bit longer, maybe like 4 to 5, just because they went in as a group, but very quickly come out. Compared to like this young boy who like went in and stayed in, it seems like everyone else that enters into this chapel is very, it's almost like they're going in like basically saying a Hail Mary and coming out. Like that's at least the speed of which people are there. It's not like they're going and staying for an exorbitant amount of time. You see almost everyone that goes in comes out within the time that you're watching.
How big is the chapel? Is it smaller sized or?
Probably enough to fit like a row of 10 pews and like maybe an altar at the front. Like it is not a big building by any means.
Okay. I'll look to Arista and say, I'm gonna head inside. Would you be able to keep watch for me?
Sure, I will keep watch. And do you want me to look out for the boy or anybody that just looks different?
Black Talons specifically would be good to keep an eye out for, but just don't want to be stuck in there, I guess.
Okay.
And if a massive
If at the
fireball
very
goes
least-
off, then you can assume things have gone very, very sour.
Yes, I will keep an eye and be on the lookout for Black Talent and anything else. So go ahead. Hopefully, there are many people going in and out. Likely prayer, but good luck. And she
Nice.
just gives him a pat on the shoulder and sets herself up in a place that looks inconspicuous enough to keep watch, but also, are there any little markets nearby to make it look like she's not like just watching the church?
At this point, no, the church is further away from the main market that you guys were in. There's like some other buildings around, but it's not like you could actively be like, oh yeah, I'm shopping and keeping an eye. Like you're kind of distanced away from
Or just a place to like make it look that she's just sitting down to rest. Either way.
Yeah. There's definitely there's several like abandoned buildings nearby that you could probably like just like sit down and twiddle your thumbs or like braid your hair or something like that and not look too crazy. There's people that are passed out on the street drunk. There's barrels around. Like there's a place
She's
that you
gonna
could
go.
sit.
she's definitely going to go into a building that's slightly higher up to get a good view from up and down, and to keep out of sight. Yeah, that's the word. Keep out of sight.
Okay. So if you're actively trying to hide, can you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Sure. Come on. Okay. That is. Yeah, I'll add 3 to that to 14.
Okay. You feel you're pretty concealed and are also able to keep an eye on what is going on. And due to the fact that you're also keeping lookout, please roll me a perception check as well.
Okay.
Okay, see. You are able to still keep a good eye on the door for sure to this chapel. Isaac, sorry,
in case I'm also bringing out a little book. It's both the book that I bought, but I will just have it out just in case if anybody decides it makes it. Oh, I'm just writing, but she's also keeping on anything that she might see in particular, she'll jot it down.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, sounds good. For Isaac, as you enter into this church, you enter in, and it is like you are stepping into just straight seawater. The entire chapel just reeks of salt and seaweed, and one of the things that probably you would have noticed from the outside, but definitely feel being in here, is this is not a stained glass window place to be. This place is dark. It is cold. And in the center of this building, there seems to be a filigree along the ground of this massive serpent that's going and coiling in on itself. And in the center of that, you see just a single pillar of just water that is just constantly flowing over this pillar of stone. And you see that one of the people that had come in before came in and seemed to either standing over this fountain and seems to prick their finger as the blood goes across their hand, they dip it into the fountain and the blood goes away, and they seem to say a prayer and step out.
Is okay, based on context clues, am I able to assume that this is a chapel to the actual Windworm?
Based off of context, yes. And if you want to roll a history check, you're welcome to. It's fairly low just because of where you grew up in Hythe. And so we can give you some more details on that.
25.
Okay, I'm gonna go away now. I know I said that already, but guys, really? Okay.
Guys,
let's bust out all the books, shall we?
Can we stop at the 25s? We need to give Tam some breathing room. Come on, a 24 once in a while.
Yeah.
Or a 23, okay? We'll promise to get a 23 instead.
The 23
Yeah.
now.
Can you guys just do a nat 20 at this point? Jeez.
Well, some of us have, even then, if I got a natural 20 and some of them, I either get a 30, because one of them I actually have plus 10.
Right.
So.
But it's just, I mean, you guys are excelling at what you all excel at, so that's the point of a party, is everyone has something to cover.
You actually haven't seen something yet, because I took rogue levels. I put my expertise in deception, so I have +9 to it.
Nice. It's fine. It's great.
And acrobatics, because, that's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, as a DM, I'm very appreciative because I get to lore dump as much as I want, and none of you can say anything about it because you guys roll as well as you do. So yes, especially where you grew up in Hythe, the story of the Lindworm, very much so, was a huge part of the mythology of Tyr. And we will pop up here. Much like the cardinal gods over on Idune and their creation story of the eagle in the north, the giant in the south, the dragon of the east, and the bull of the west, Tyr has a very similar story as well. Every continent across this entire world has a cardinal god representation. The reason why Tyr looks the way that it does, with all of this just insanity of islands and ocean, is because at one point there was the boar of the west of Tyr, by the name of Galti. Galti had was very much so the god of seasons and nature. There was a great battle with the Lindworm, or the unending serpent of Yorn. All of these islands of the Lindward Isles, as well as the cliffs of Haming, all used to be part of Tyr. But due to the battle that Yorn and Galti fought, and Galti actually lost, the Lindworm filled all of these oceans around. Hence the reason why these isles were referred to as the Lindworm Isles. Some people viewed them as a gift from the Lindworm, as a separation from the mainland, and the point of them getting to finally stand off from the Cardinals, and other people sometimes call these waters cursed for that reason. But there is very much so a strong belief that if you honor Yorn, the Lindworm, that he may be able to provide you with safe passage, with riches, with ruling the seas in a way. And so various people honor Yorn and the Lindworm, because especially being amongst all of these areas, when you're so coastal, you probably should like suck up to a god at some point. And a lot of people do lean to Yorn, even though he was eventually banished, and was eventually went off and was pushed down after the fall of Galti. There were several gods that had great issue with that, and so even though people haven't really seen Yorn in a while, his legacy and legend is still very much so, especially a presence amongst ne'er-do-wells, evildoers, people who tend to lean on the darker side of things. Is very much so the realm of people that like to engage with the unending serpent.
Okay. Sweet. With that in mind, I was just gonna kind of look and see if anyone in here kind of stands out. Maybe wearing more kind of traditional clothing or anything like that. Just anyone who stands out from the normal crowd.
Yeah. So in this room with this pillar of salt water, as people come and give their penance and things, and some people throw coin into this fountain, and it's a little bit weird because the fountain, so you have this stone of pillar and this water that is just bleeding from this stone. It just kind of like sinks straight back into the ground, and coin is just like automatically carried with that water, and things. You do see on the other side of the chapel. It seems to be 3 figures, all dressed in dark black robes, all with hoods on, with those similar kind of prayer-ish beads that you saw on the young Triton boy, just kind of sitting and standing vigil on the other side of the chapel.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna first go up to that pillar of salt water, and just kind of examine it first,
Okay.
and then drag my jade fingers kind of through it.
Okay. If you want to roll an investigation check for me real quick. And then can I get a wisdom saving throw from you afterwards?
Uh-oh. Okay, 17 investigation, and then 15 for the wisdom save.
Okay. I mentioned that as you stepped into this building, it immediately felt cold. This does not feel like a warm place to be. And as you step towards the fountain, very much so what I described, you just see this pillar of stone with this very like unending flow of water coming out of it. And as you reach out with your jade hand to drag your hand across it, you haven't felt warmth through your jade in a minute. It's jade. You don't have the same feeling. Something about this, you feel the texture of the water, and you can feel the wet on your fingertips, and you can feel surprising warmth on the fingertips as the jade comes in contact with this.
Isaac will just kind of take a moment to appreciate that in a very long time he's kind of having like almost like the phantom pain is kind of almost gone for just a brief second.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
kind of quickly pulling his hand back out.
As you pull your hand away, one of the hooded figures has actually stepped up and goes, "I don't believe we have seen you here before, good sir."
It would be my first time visiting this chapel.
That is good to know. Do you honor the unending serpent?
I don't know if honor is the word that I would use. I would say a more adequate one would be respect.
As is a good word choice. Respect is what seems to be given to you as well.
So I don't think I got your name.
And like you hear this like inhale of kind of worry, and this priest goes, "Oh, we speak not of our own names here. We are all here for him. But if you are looking for penance, or if you're looking for more aid into growing close with the unending serpent, we're more than happy to facilitate."
Perhaps. I was told I was to seek out someone named Leah. I was told that they would be here.
The this hooded figure, like you can pretty much like basically just see their mouth as they are speaking. Just the shade that is on their face. It's weird. Like there's not a lot of light in here at all, but like, you know how like when your eyes adjust to a really dark place, you are able to like look at everything that's very much so kind of the vibe that you get in here, even though it's very low lit. The head quickly looks back to the taller of the center of the three figures that are now just two on the other side, and the figure goes, "Oh, yes, you wish to speak with the high priest. Okay. She will do what she can for you. Is now the best time?" And he kind of looks a little bit like nervous as he is saying all these things, and goes, "Would you? This isn't the best place to speak with the altar here. Please, come to." And just kind of like starts escorting you towards the back of this chapel. You do see that there is a small door towards the back, probably leading to some other kind of like potentially like almost like a just separate office or room or something like that is kind of the vibe that you get. And as this figure approaches, he bows to the high priest and goes, "High priest, you have someone here who is looking for you. I know not for why. Potentially just needing some more information on the glory that is our unending serpent." And this figure looks to you and just kind of very stoically goes, "Very well," and you are escorted back to this room. And in this room, much like the chapel that is very basic, in this room there is like 2 chairs and another chair and like a side table. It does not look like it is beautiful at all, but very much so. The high priest goes over and sits in the single chair by the table, and kind of like motions for you to sit down across from them.
Was the high priest like doing anything when we walked in, like reading or anything of
Just
notice?
all 3 of them were just watching. It seems like they were very much so wanting to make sure that everyone who was coming in was paying their respects honorably.
I will take a seat then.
Okay. The secondary figure that you had first talked to closes the door, and you are left alone with High Priest Leah.
So, before we, I guess, begin, would you prefer to be addressed as High Priest, or would you prefer your name Leah?
She reaches up and she pulls back her hood, and you see a half. She appears half elf, dark skin, very kind of tight curls, and very bright blue eyes. And she looks to you and she goes, "That depends on the matter of your speaking. Are you needing to discuss things in a secular level, or are you seeking me out just as a person?"
To be honest, I'm not sure. When I came through the blockade, I was told that you could possibly be a person of interest to me, which typically means you either know something that I wish to know, or you're a potential threat.
She kind of smiles and she goes, "I mean, I had not expected to see you in person. We had only been communicating through letters at this point, so I find it very interesting that you are here, so hence the reason why I asked if you needed to meet in a divine sense, or if you were just simply needing my assistance that I have already been providing you.
Can I try and see if... Have I gotten letters in the past? Am I just misremembering?
No letters to Isaac.
Oh, okay. Putting 2 and 2 together, It seems that at least some of the letters may have gotten lost in transportation. Would you be able to refresh my mind on the letters you have sent thus far?
Go ahead and roll a deception check for me, please.
Oh God. This is where the bad rolls come out, isn't it? Or not.
You do have... Okay, never mind. I was going to say,
Yeah.
you have points. Never mind.
Leah looks across and goes, that would make sense then for... I thought that the order that you had requested, it seemed like something had gone wrong there, so I guess that makes sense. So I apologize. You had seemed to be just happy with the products that we had been sending your way. But I'll make sure to, if I don't hear a response from you, we'll try to seek out potentially through magical means versus just physical. But yes, the last order that you had requested and had, we had sent those numbers off towards, and she reaches down and she pulls out like a really small book, and she kind of flips through it and she goes, yes, Ilsa was the last drop point for those. Seems like we had a order of 20 and an order of 50 that had gone your way, all for the sake of the service that you are providing. And so she closes the book and goes, from what I hear, the numbers are doing quite well, so I feel like we are doing our best. We did have a little bit of a hiccup. We did have a recent shipment be detained and actually, from what I heard, freed, and that's a little bit frustrating. But yes, we are doing the work that has been assigned to us to do.
You happen to have any product on hand?
And she goes, I mean, we have been trying to do things kind of covertly, but there is, at the Triangles, we do have stock there.
I'm gonna... How long would it take for you to bring some of it here?
And she goes, it's not quite that easy. We really need to keep and maintain them at the Triangles in order to... do you need just one, or do you need several?
Just one.
Oh, we could arrange that for you. for sure. Just simply as we will make sure to select the best for you, and we will be able to make sure that it is up to the par and the standard that you have set for us here. And my fellow priests throughout all of Tyr are also, at least those that I can trust, are also in this endeavor with you.
Just kind of give a nod and say, let's just hurry this along. I have other business here in Lindworm.
And she goes, of course, would later tonight work? Probably it would be easier to provide that product once the sun has set.
I can wait till tonight.
Good, because the last thing I need is for you to have to wait on us to try to get that to you quickly here right now, especially while it is a time of communion. We will do our best to receive that for you to be able to investigate and give a thorough seal of approval yourself.
I'll just nod, and it's already fairly late, isn't it?
It is. It has gotten later, much later in the day, at this point.
All right, I will be back in, say, 2 hours.
And she goes, could you give us till midnight?
I'm gonna kind of just shoot her a glare a little bit, and I want to specifically try and see how like she reacts. Is it more out of like fear, or is it? I'm trying to figure out like
Yeah,
what
for sure.
relationship. Yeah.
With knowing the dead eyes that you have sent many to Ruby and such, I know the look. And you see that there is like an audible like gulp that she does, and she goes, okay, 2 hours. We can make it so. It will be.
And I'll just, without saying a word, I'll just walk out and find Arista again.
Okay. As you leave, everyone seems to just kind of be continuing to do their own thing, very much so focused on this pillar of water in the center. Arista, the time that Isaac was in there, nothing too terribly exciting happened. There's a whole lot of people kind of walking back and forth on the street. This chapel does not seem to be like the place to be. Like, you go to this chapel with intent and everything. So pretty low key for you while you were keeping an eye out.
Okay. Like, I also doodle a couple of like little verses while waiting for Isaac to come out as I like have this little thing. But yeah. Oh.
Sweet. While you are waiting for the 2 hours to lapse, are you guys going to go head back to the Hollow Coin with the rest of your party?
Yeah, I wanna stop by quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopping over and backtracking to Ruby, while Volus was heading out of the Hollow Coin, with your stealth check that you had, Volus seems to kind of bob and weave through the crowd, and makes his way towards a let's see, where did it go? Oh, that guild kind of headquarters that you guys had passed the Salt Vault previously, heads towards that building, and stays in there for a good 20 minutes. Are you wanting to enter into see what's going on? You can see, or go ahead and roll a perception check for me, actually.
Okay. 21.
Okay. You peek through the window and you can hear everything.
That's how that works.
I could hear the internal Sam going.
Okay,
I was honestly
so,
thinking
like,
to myself, I have a +3. Probably, it's not gonna be that. I might have to spend some luck points. Nope.
no, like
Nope.
18, 18, 11, 10, 18. It's fine.
The lowest roll we've had today, I think, is that 15 wisdom
is
save.
yeah. Well, there was the 11.
The 11,
Yeah.
which I added
But
3 just
there's-
in case, but still.
Yeah, it's great. As you kind of take an eye and like keep an eye out through the window, you see Volish talking with what looks like a Goliath of a figure, and seems to be like doing some talk and some jesting back and forth. Both of them are like actively laughing at each other and like having a good time. Volish seems to be doing a lot of like flourishing with the hands, being very showy, and that sort of thing. This Goliath eventually brings another figure over, to which you see a very like thin, greasy looking man who takes over for the conversation, and these two chat for probably like a good like 5-10 minutes, and with a perception check, and especially because you had received the lovely ability of Thieves' Cant with your level up, a lot of the like kind of like big hand movements and like that everything that Volish is doing, you pick up the phrasing of from Volish, keep an eye, to which the owner of the establishment that he's talking with, or at least you would assume that he's the owner. He looks a little bit more official than the Goliath that he was talking with previously. Signs basically back to him while they're chatting, and you get the phrase of 4 more to come, and then from Volish as well, you see him sign basically a single word of anchor, and okay. As they're kind of chatting back and forth, is what you glean from looking through the window.
Okay. If that's all I can get from the window, I think I would like to attempt to try and get inside without being spotted.
Okay.
Pass without trace lost for an hour, by the way.
Right. It does not make you invisible. So
it doesn't, but it will make me harder to hear.
Right. So go fight win.
Pardon?
Go ahead. You can definitely try.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. That'd be a 29.
Okay. Like I said, it does not make you invisible. However, you are deft enough to be able to duck in behind people. There are a lot of people coming in and out of this building. As you step in, you hear just this like utter amount of commotion. It seems like there are like several boards across the walls of this place, and they are all manned by different people who are actively throwing out guild jobs, hirings, like treasure things. It's almost like an auction house in here, pretty much. And you're able to kind of blend in with the crowd that is in here, to be able to at least enter the building. Volish is continuing to talk with the greasy-haired figure at the center of this.
All right. I suppose if Ruby could attempt to get a bit closer, just kind of ease up the conversation, get a bit more context, if impossible at all.
Okay. Like I said, very much so kind of banking on other people walking around.
Mm-hmm.
You're
He's
kind
definitely
of
trying to
able
look busy,
to,
like he's like looking at like things on shelves. He's like, oh yes, definitely
Right.
looking at that one. Yes.
right. And all of these jobs that are, and everything that's kind of being called out, and it's all happening very, very quickly. Like some of them will call out a job and immediately erase it, and then start to throw up a different one, or like a treasure to be sought after, or someone seeking crew, or that sort of thing. This is a very hodgepodge networking place, and as you're kind of like ducking by, and like every once in a while pass by Volish and this figure, they are talking about absolute just nonsense. Like it is, oh well, your coat is looking so fine today, and everything. And the greasy haired figure would go, oh well, it's not quite the material that I wanted it to be, but it is of good make. I was very pleased with the body that I took it off of. And like, just that kind of turn of phrase. You come back later and they're talking about a vase, and keep doing that.
I think Ruby, upon hearing all this, would kind of recognize at least a little bit they're probably talking in code. Would it be possible for him to, say, write this down on something, like a notepad, or if he just happens to find one or could purchase one or something like that?
Yeah, if I don't believe that you have a notepad.
He might have something.
Yeah.
He might have something. I'll check quickly. It's a scholar's pack, so it's possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what's in a scholar's pack. That's fantastic.
Hang on. I mean, you do know someone with paper. He's just not here.
And he wouldn't
Basic. Oh, a scholar's pack
Carissa would give you paper because he's going to guard that.
So, fun fact, a scholar's pack has a book of law, ink, an ink pen, 10 pieces of parchment, and a little sandbag and a small knife.
Okay,
Ruby, absolutely write this down.
Yep. And again, like, not necessarily in what they're, so you hear them speak about their coats, you hear them speak about a vase, you hear them speak about, a maiden with, hair of red, you hear them speak about, you hear them speak about a ancient tower in the sky. Like if you could track like an ADD conversation, like that's very much so what this feels like. It's like, oh well, scrolling to this point and scrolling to this point. Like it does. None of these make sense to connect in a full conversation.
Right. There's definitely some deeper context that Ruby is missing, which is why by writing it down, he's kind of feeling like, I could give this the ball and we could further investigate basically what the fuck this means.
Right. And at one point you hear them discuss, and Volish goes, oh, is it all right if I stay? I don't feel like going back to my regular room at the moment. Things are just a little crazy back at the old homestead. And the greasy hair figure goes, "Oh, of course," and escorts him to a back room of this building. And the later it gets in the day and the longer that you are here, the more people are piling in. Seems like as people have either finished off the day of whatever work they have, it's starting to really kick off in here. It seems like this is the place that people go to potentially find jobs for tomorrow, or figure out what to do next, or if there's anything interesting going on. This is one of the many places that they could do that.
I do want to ask something very quickly.
Yeah.
I believe Ball did mention this person had a tattoo, right? And that's what caught his attention.
Yes. Yeah.
Could
they
Ruby
do have a black
try and see if the person he's talking to or anyone else around the store has a similar tattoo in any visible place?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and do a perception check for me.
Will do. That's a nat 20.
I was brought mozzarella sticks during this. I'm just gonna sit back and just like not do anything anymore.
I'm so sorry.
Although that's the problem is I can't because you guys keep making me talk. So
All I can think of is like angry mozzarella stick munching.
Right, just fear. That's fine. Don't worry, I'm gonna get another heavy RP session next week. It's gonna be beautiful. Because I can trust that all of you will talk. So, as you are kind of looking around, the figure that he's talking with, you do not see actively a black talon on them. You do see at one point there is a with a nat 20, who do we give you? Because we can.
All of them.
You see that there comes at one point a pair of figures. One of them has the black talons up and seem to be coming up into their hairline. This is a female elf with her head just completely like buzzed. Okay. But she has like rows of piercings throughout her eyebrows, like on her nose, in her ears. Like there's just actively like big old fish hooks in them, and like across her lips she has like just like it probably just doesn't make sense for her to be able to talk as well as she probably could, as well as a you see her as well as a smaller figure, another female figure, a gray-skinned looking tiefling with horns that are like so tight of a ram's horn that they almost look like space buttons, like just on the top of her head. And she has her hair braided around those as well. And so like literally you just kind of like see the tip of her horns sticking out from underneath the hair. And both of them seem to be kind of like meandering around and like checking things. You do not see any tattoos on the tiefling, but you for sure do on the elf. There comes another point where you see a dwarf, and for his, he actually has he has a scabbard that he has a big old sword on that looks like it also has the three black talons as well.
I see.
Yeah.
Another sword for me to steal.
Yeah, maybe this one will talk too. It's fine.
I'm finding
Maybe
a
it's got a
steal.
missing too. I'm just finding every sword I find just has a god in it, just laying about.
Yep. I'm just picturing like Ruby going and picking up weapons and shaking them like Etch-a-Sketches, being like, "Do you talk? Do you talk?"
No? Okay.
Okay. Just put it down.
My apologies. Wait a second.
There is another figure. This figure looks like they they are just the most beat up looking Firbolg you've probably ever seen. And they have a pendant that has a very small black talon on it, but they look. If you could take a Firbolg out of a slaughterhouse, that's probably what they look like. But boy, this Firbolg does not look friendly, does not look happy, and maybe if you make eye contact with them, like they will actively like just glare and spit at your feet. Like not a pleasant individual.
Not a very funny fellow to be around. Definitely not.
But yeah, those are the three that you see here.
Every kind of individual Ruby sees with the tattoos, he's also going to write down a brief description of them and where the tattoos are and who they're hanging around with in the case of the one person with the tiefling.
Yeah. The dwarf and the Firbolg seem to be off on their own. The two, the elf and the tiefling that you saw earlier, they seem to be kind of meandering around this place together.
I want to imagine he's trying to act like he's writing a shopping list. He's just like, oh, I could use some of those later. Oh, I wish I would love those. Oh, I should write that down.
and yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what you get, specifically looking for the black talons within this auction house.
To avoid going too much more like undercover, so to say, to avoid like getting in a situation where there's going to be more of them than me when I'm able to get out if I am caught. This is enough information, Ruby thinks, to at least start more of an investigation. It's not like they can go anywhere. It seems like this is kind of their base of operations in a way.
Yeah.
At least they frequent here enough that there's multiple of them in the same place at the same time.
Right.
Thinks this might be at least good enough to bring back to Ball and be like, hey, this is what I found. What do we do now?
Okay. Sounds good. And then as you head back towards the hollow coin, Artem and Ball, at some point, Ed is going to come up to all of you and just go, or to the two of you and go, listen, I need you to just pick a seat. Please just pick a seat. I can't keep sending servers over to service you all if you won't just sit down.
Okay, that's fine.
I walk to the other end of the bar and pick a different seat.
There is still ample distance between Sir Egbert as well as Ball.
As he goes to walk, I just stick my leg out and trip him.
Please make me contested dexterity checks with that, please. And now is the time you use all your luck, please.
It's okay, I rolled real low. Oh,
Yay!
not that low.
Oh, you're getting the low rolls that you want, but just not on something.
Thank you.
Things that really matter.
On things that don't matter, it's okay. There is a active like boom as Ball falls to the floor as Artem successfully.
As soon as he does, I start holding my leg and go, I think you broke it.
I can't fight like this with a broken leg. What am I going to do?
Sorry,
that was my only good kicking leg.
I was like, just going to show up to the fight with a cast on my leg.
You're gonna flex when you get in the ring and it starts and it just breaks off, and I'm like, oh.
No, I'm gonna take the cast off and drop it, and it's gonna leave a dent in the floor.
Ball falls, and you guys and anyone in the room can just actively hear. This is why you need someone to cast like thaumaturgy or something. You just hear shattering of bones as Egbert is so frail. See, this is why you need to drink cow's milk, not just goat's milk. You need the calcium. Over time, as the two of you just continue to kind of enjoy the rough and tumbledness that is the hollow coin. Eventually, Ruby comes back, probably not too far behind Isaac and Arista, but the three of them do return to the tavern, and you all see each other again.
Okay, Ruby is going to kind of just hop on over to Ball. He's going to hand over a piece of paper and is going to say, "Add your shopping list you asked for." And it's pretty much going to be a brief paper explaining. I tailed the person. They talked to this person. This is what they said. General descriptions of everyone in this store with tattoos and kind of what was going on in there. And also noting that they seem to be speaking in thieves' cant.
How detailed are these notes?
I'd say they're detailed as Ruby can remember, so they may not be like exact, like he was wearing like, you know, this specific brand of t-shirt, but it'd be, you know, a blue t-shirt kind of deal.
Police level descriptions.
Yeah,
Black
kind of
pants,
like the kind
white
of
shirt.
description you'd get when you kind of tell he was doing it on the fly, and he didn't quite have time to like just, you know, record it then note it down later. It was kind of on the fly, like, okay, this is the gist of what they were saying here. I need to write that down.
So enough to get general descriptions of everybody, I would say.
I'd say so, yeah.
Alright, so after Paul reads it, where are these people at?
Ruby will give directions to the place. And
And so sorry,
yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'll have a map of the rat's nest for you guys next week. But yeah, this is at the Salt Vault.
The Salt Vault, I believe.
How far away is this?
Probably like a 10-15 minute walk, if that. Like,
if you were to simply walk like the average person, probably about 10-15 minutes. If you're like us, probably like 2.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
Speed run.
For Ruby, it's 1.
What time of day would it be?
At this point, it is actively, like, the sun is setting. Actually, probably has set by this point, by the time that everyone has come back to you.
How many people were there?
At the Salt Vault?
Yeah.
Tons. Like, probably pushing 40 to 50 people in that one room. And it was actively rotating.
Would you be able to do me another favor tomorrow? It doesn't have to be tonight.
Well, anything for a friend. You did step in during a very pivotal moment and stopped people I cared about from fighting. I owe you a lot. And I think this is a good opportunity for us to get to know each other. So, consider it a favor.
The elf and the tiefling. Think
Yes.
you'll be able to find out where they're staying.
I can definitely find them around town tomorrow. They seem to frequent that place, and quite frankly, someone with horns in their space, kind of hair like this, not terribly hard to point out in the crowd.
Very interested to know where they are and what they might be getting into.
I can get that done tomorrow. Tonight, I believe, though, we have a lot to prepare for. Also, a lot to drink. Oof.
I mean, are we going to drink that much?
I was.
The fight's not tonight, right? Or tomorrow morning?
Correct, yeah. They mentioned, so not tonight, not tomorrow night, the night after.
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of time.
Yep.
Very well.
I mean,
do
as
believe
long
it'd
as we
be-
don't do,
Mhm.
sorry, as long as we don't nobody blows the money on the on drinking, then I don't see why not. So I am not much for drinking.
I do believe it would be wise for me to at least be a bit cautious. If I'm going to be going into a place alone with people I don't really know how dangerous they are, I'd like to be prepared.
Just know that these two are extremely dangerous. Get into a part to where it's going to be questionable. Come and get me.
Alright. Will you be coming with me, or just be up to me?
I'll follow you. But I believe you're probably
Right.
better at getting closer to it than I would be.
Oh, definitely. But I will be quite assured if you are nearby in case something goes wrong. I can defend myself, don't get me wrong, but one wrong move and it'd be quite hard to fight my way out, at least without causing a scene.
If these are who I think they are, the scene might be unavoidable.
Oh! Don't threaten me, I've got time, I'll prepare myself. Ruby will kind of like put her hand forward and just be like, "What's it do?"
I'll shake his hand.
Just like Cheshire grin. Pleasure doing business with you.
And
Next round is on you, by the way.
I'll holler over at Ed and tell him to bring drinks for everybody. And no more fucking milk for Artem.
He
That
looks
guy's
actively.
enough milk.
Oh, they ran out of goat's milk forever ago.
Currently diluting like other milk, and it's like trying to make it like taste like goat milk enough that it pulses.
Yeah, they never actually had milk, by the way.
Yeah. They've just been mixing flour in just whatever they can. the
Someone used color spray on his bottle. What the fuck?
Ed actively like fills all of your or brings you all drinks similar to what was provided potentially earlier, and then just as well as just some additional ales. It is starting to get busy here as well, so he's not seeming to try to take drink orders. It's more so, hey, here's booze, enjoy it. And him and the other like servers are just kind of like actively running around. You see there's at one point the half-orc that you guys saw earlier is just walking around with a keg and just like topping off people as they like hold up their mugs towards him, and getting very loud, getting very boisterous in here. And you see that someone actively starts standing on a table and with a small guitar kind of set up, very and starts to kind of just like play a song and starts to kind of sing as this rallying kind of sea shanty song, as everyone else is kind of starting to join in on occasion with them and everything.
Does the person have a tag on them?
They do. See one very similar to what you got on your ear on theirs.
How far away from the stage are we? Or where he's playing it?
On top of a table, there is not an official stage. He has made one.
Are we all like sitting at our own table? Fairly close to this?
At this point, let's draw. Let's throw you guys into this room. Where did it go? will use. I don't know why it turned out so small. Wow. Okay. Fine. Roll 20. Never mind. Here you go, guys. First. Haven't had to do this in a minute because roll 20 is just being dumb.
lovely.
There's
Oh, wow.
tables about no, it makes me feel terrible compared to the lovely art that I've been giving you all.
No worries.
There's
It's not your fault. Blame roll 20.
yeah, no, for sure. I was trying to select things and it just wasn't letting me select it. So the main bar that you guys were at with Ed was very much so over here. The booth that you had talked with Volish was over here. And there's like a series of booths across this back wall and a couple of booths on this other side. It's very crammed. It's very it's not a big probably each of these tables could fit 5 to 6 people around them comfy, and people are very much so fitting like 6 to 7 or 8 around each of these tables. The figure that has decided to start singing is at the center, like this center table, for that. And so if you guys were at the bar, do you guys want to be in a booth? Do you want to be at your own table? Where would you like to be?
I would assume that me and Artem would have gotten a table at some point, running around
Yeah.
the bar.
Okay.
I imagine Ruby would take a seat after that whole, making a
Okay.
deal with a ball.
Yeah. So we'll throw you here. The entrance of this place is up here.
And I'll point
We'll
out,
type it.
even relaxing and drinking, Ruby is still going to be perched on the chair like a cat.
Yep.
And of course, he takes any drink he takes it in like both hands, just like that.
But yeah, so you guys are close enough to the action that like if you you can see that everyone is starting to kind of look towards this figure. There are people standing drinking as well, so like there's people like pushing up against you guys as you guys are sitting there, and everything, but your party is enough that you guys have kind of secured this table for yourself.
Okay. So,
Ah!
why am I always, why am I always too big?
Just throw her in. We'll shrink her.
Yeah, I'm gonna get shrunk. Yay. Meow.
Sweet. Yeah. And Mr. Tagman will be up there. Anything else that you would like to do tonight? Probably while conversing with Ed, he would let you know that there are rooms if you guys want to stay here, unless you want to go stay on your boat.
I'm gonna try and speak with Ball. If I can find like a break in kind of the hullabaloo.
Yeah, you may have to like grab Ball and go off into a corner because like where you guys are at, like you're fairly close to the bar and close to where the singing is, and there's an active crowd like coming around you guys, so it would be easy to like take Ball and kind of duck off.
Um, well, I need a bit of a favor.
What do you need?
I spoke to someone here who might know about Scrollmaster Alabaster, but I need to have someone to back me up if things go south. Would you be able to help me out tonight?
What's going to be going on tonight?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I think a lot of people here believe that I am Scrollmaster Alabaster, but I don't really know anything about that individual, and I think that this person who I've been speaking with, Leah, is in some way connected to him. And I need answers, and if those are not given,
Happy to help any way I can. Um, should we bring the rest, or is this something for just you and
I think you are able to keep the most level-headed in the group. Uh, I think also Ruby might be a little bit. Let's just say that I believe Alabaster might be dealing with slaves. And given Ruby's relationship with Freedom, I think it might be best to keep Ruby out of it for this one. But if you...
It can't hurt to at least take a look before you involve anyone else.
Well, I'm supposed to meet back shortly here. They're expecting me. I want you to come with, and perhaps the others can just, I don't know if keep watch, but I don't know. I don't know the best way to approach this. I'm out of my depth, that's for sure.
Well, what exactly are we going in to do?
Right now, I want to figure out whatever Alabaster and this woman are involved in. The inclination that I felt was that it had something to do with slaves or prisoners or something. But if this person, Leah, knows anything more about Alabaster, then I need to learn what she knows.
Where are you supposed to be meeting them at?
About that, it's a chapel. I know that might not exactly be the best place for violence, but I'm hoping you can overlook that for this.
So you think there may be some form of altercation?
I think that it is likely. I'm hoping it is not a brawl, but given the mannerisms and what I saw when I was there earlier today, I don't think these answers are going to be given up willingly or without some sort of threat of violence.
Let's go at least see what we're getting into for tonight. Maybe we come back another time for answers if we need to.
Well, I've kind of convinced them that I am Alabaster, at least for now. I have to show up tonight. Otherwise, that cover is no longer going to be available for us to utilize in future.
I understand. What I'm saying is, we go tonight, we see exactly what they're about, and then if we need to get answers, more answers than what they're willing to give, we come back at a later time with everyone else to get those answers.
Okay, I can agree to that. Should we head out now then?
Gonna need to cause some form of distraction so the rest of the group doesn't know we're leaving.
I think I've pissed off the group enough.
I'll nod my head. I have an idea. And I'll turn and I'll walk back towards the table.
Okay.
And when I get over there, I'm just gonna push Artem to the middle, like where that dude is on the table, and just holler out to the rest of the crowd, "Look, there's another bard!" And just kind of sort of throw him into the middle. Play!
And then I'm going to trip, fall, hit my head on the table, and knock the table over.
Let's see. Please either make a dexterity or a performance check for me for falling.
A 22.
Yep, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. I just go for it. I fall. I just
You guys,
flip the
You're just
flip
asking
the
for
bar off the
permission at
table
this point.
and just hit my head on it and fall down on the ground and go unconscious.
Meanwhile, Arista will panic and like go over and do very public like healing hands. It's like, oh no, I think they killed the bar. Our bar. And she very publicly was like, oh no, poor Edward. And she like, and she does a very, healing hands to make it look very obvious that like something like a cleric.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah. The bard that was on the table immediately is like, hold on, and like jumps down to like see if and like give him some air, and like and tries to like help out a bit. Arista, please make a deception check for me.
Okay.
And during all this, Isaac and I'll head towards the door.
Dun, 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 dun,
I want to
dun, dun.
imagine Ruby just like sat on his chair, the drink in his hands, because he's like he kept it like off the table. Like all of this happens while he's just sitting, plainly on the chair, holding his drink, just like
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna
What's
put
going
a
on?
5 on that to make it 14.
Okay.
he just wanted to enjoy his drink.
Yeah, he's just sad cat sitting with a sad cat with a cup.
There's still the little vinegar on his paw, and he's just like, oh.
Yeah. The bard jumps down and like Artem, you feel this like you've been on the receiving end of healing magic before, like you feel this healing magic come to you as the fellow bard on top of the table and Arista kind of are standing over you. And the bard goes,
as he's healing,
"Hey!"
as he's healing me real quick, I want to bite my tongue and just spit up just a bunch of blood.
Yeah.
And be like, arrest that guy.
The bard like crouches down and
Can I help with this? Could I do a minor illusion to make it seem like he's bleeding way more than he is?
yes, is that that's systematic?
I'm gonna ask.
Let me quickly take a look.
Also add prestidigitation to help as well.
It is somatic and material, but it is not verbal.
Okay, sweet. Are you trying to be sneaky about this?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay, please do a sleight of hand check for me. Same
Also
thing for Arista. Are you trying to be
Yes.
15.
I'm trying to be sneaky.
sleight of hand for you as well?
Okay.
Guys, I rolled a 9. What am I going to do?
I rolled a 5.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, man.
with the
Now it's
more blood that pops up from Ruby's minor illusion, the bard gets some of the blood from Artem on him, and he and after Artem says, "Arrest that guy," the bard looks really close to Artem's face and goes, "Hey, buddy, you're inland where no one's gonna go get him." I just kind of like pats his cheek before like standing up and go, "It's okay, everybody, let's get back to this show," and like goes and runs back up to the table and like actively just starts like singing and dancing and like trying to like starts like trying to walk on like people's shoulders and heads to like get to another table, and like some people are like holding his feet to help him do so, and he very much so is just going about the rest of his routine.
Cool. As I'm on the ground, and everyone's watching this guy, I'm gonna sneak out.
Okay. I need.
Where did everyone
let's
go?
see. Yeah.
I do not know, honestly. And she's like, she has her own. I wouldn't say I am sad because I was going to actually taste that beer, and now, and she points to the overturned cup. Now it's over. I didn't even get to taste that.
Okay.
She's not that put up. She's not that sad because she had been like, if nobody had been watching her, she had been going, just like sort of like holding it, putting it down, holding it, putting it down like that. Actually, so she was very happy that you're
Sweet. So Ruby and Arista, you get very quickly some of the servers come and like try to get the table back up. They're like shooing people off of it that are trying to like actively just like take the tankards off the ground, then are trying to like get free drinks with tankards that they potentially did not purchase to go to the keg and everything. But you get cleaned up rather quickly. Your table starts to fill up with people that you do not know, because you have a six top and there's just two of you. And so there's people that sit down and are actively joining in on what the bard is singing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How dare that is the bard, FYI.
Artem, where are you going?
I am going to get on the roof and follow Ball.
They do have a little bit of a head start, so go ahead and roll a perception check for me. And it's dark.
Well,
Oh,
I
I
have like 120.
I know.
Vision.
I just want to. Gosh, dang it, guys!
I think every low roll today has been a Arista, actually.
Find them, and you are able to keep a good distance in order for them to be sneaking about, and you are also able to sneak about.
I'm just roof hopping at this point. I'm just bantfing, teleporting from roof to roof.
Oh yeah, especially with it being dark. For sure, you can do that, Artem. You are the knight.
Yep.
Isaac and Ball, you two make your way back to the chapel. It is dark out. There are some lanterns about, but the chapel itself looks very just like it could sink into the dark around it. Like there's not really any lights or ornamentation attracting you to this building. And as you approach Isaac, Ball, you see, like what you had seen previously walking past, this building of stone and this symbol of a serpent just circling in on itself above the door. As you enter, that cold hits again, and the incredible, intense smell of sea air and salt and seaweed fills as this pillar of water still just ever flows within this chamber. You see very quickly as you enter, one of the robed figures from before comes up to you, Isaac, and goes, "Oh, good. We are here, and ready for you. Please, come." And as they take you into the room previously, let's see if it will load for me this time. We'll find out. You see in this room there is again, very simple 3 chairs that have kind of been pushed to the side. In this room now stands the high priest of earlier, as well as just 2 other figures. One of them is robed. The other one does not appear to be. He is all completely in like black leathers though, and very much so has daggers at his shoulders, daggers like at his waist. You see that he has what looks like bracers that could have knives that could click forward if needed as well. Like the guy just is decked to the nines as far as that goes. And between the 2 of them, there is a very large chest, and that chest has several locks on it. It's a very nice and ornamental chest. It seems to have a lot of filigree, a lot of detail on it. As you all approach, the high priestess steps forward and goes, "Oh, good. It is good to see that you were able to make it." And she looks over to Ball, and she looks specifically at Ball's symbol and goes, Why would you bring him here?"
You think you're the only religious group that I work with?
And she goes, "That's a fair point, but I figured those who follow Vidar." And she just kind of smiles. She goes, "I guess your grand design is more than we thought. I think that this will be good then." And she reaches over and she kind of waves her hand, and the gentleman with all of the daggers across, he steps forward and he starts to unlock the chest. And as he unlocks the chest, he steps off and just kind of holds the lid ready to be opened for all of you to view. And she goes, "Please, the finest sample that we could obtain in such a quick amount of time."
I'll give a nod to open it up.
Okay. The daggered figure opens up the chest, and from where you're standing, it currently kind of looks empty. And then as you step forward, you see that inside there is a figure, hands bound, feet bound, gagged as well, completely passed out inside of this box. She has rather intricate braids in her hair, but it looks like they have not been attended to in a very long time. And as she just kind of lays a little bit limp, the daggered man reaches down and kind of like just pulls her up, probably in her like mid-20s, and you see that there are very obvious signs of whipping across her arms and kind of at the top of her neck as well, and is just completely passed out in front of you. And the high priest steps forward and goes, Are you pleased?
How many people are in the room right now from the chapel?
There's just from the chapel, so there are
Not including Ball, I guess. This is what I meant.
Yeah. So there are 3, not including you two. There are here. Boy, howdy, that took forever to load. There's the high priestess. There is the daggered figure. There is another hooded figure, and then the figure that brought you guys in here stayed outside of the room. So there's the 3 of them and you.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna kind of turn to Ball and kind of motion for him to lean in. And under my breath, I'm just gonna whisper, "I need the priestess alive. Are you ready?"
I'm always ready.
Alright. And then I'm gonna try and very quickly cast Hold Person on the one with all the daggers.
Okay, sweet. As you reach out to cast Hold Person, we are going to pick that up next week there.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna see fucking flashing lights from outside.
There's no windows.
Oh shit, that's right. Just the cracks under the door.
You know, if you hit the wall hard enough, there'll be a window.
There will be a window.
I just hear the splash as someone gets thrown through a wall out into the coast.
I was hoping there'd be like one window just so he could see through and just be on the roof eating popcorn and watching.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. That's hilarious. You could always just go into the building that Arista stayed in and just wait for them to come out and be like, "Hi, guys."
Yeah, I think Ruby and Arista are just kind of chatting right now, just waiting, like in the building.
Oh,
just like,
for sure.
Yes, like Arista's probably critiquing whether the bar or not is good. It's like, like he's there. It's like she will probably be doing this to Ruby, being like, right there, he's not that bad, but he is playing a B flat, and that is obviously trying to. And look at his finger placements; they're all over the place. Where is he? Where did he get taught?
Ruby's like mentally trying to take notes on like musical stuff because he's never even tried it before, and he's just like, okay, so being flat is bad. Got it.
And like, I think the funniest thing is like and she's putting up and down her bed. Like at some point she's gonna be like she got a new cake and she's like up down before she just gets into Ruby. After like an hour of picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, and she's like, "Here, I'm just taking it. I can't."
The rest of the world is on fire, and Ruby and Arista are drinking. It's great.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Yeah. So, and actually, really quickly, just so that way I can make sure that we are starting off on the right foot here. That is a Constitution save. Would you throw up Hold Person, Isaac, for me, just so that way I make sure that we start there?
If I can find it. I think it's a Wisdom save, if I recall, but...
Okay. Okay, a Wisdom save. Okay, sweet. Well, we'll start there next week. But yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for listening in, and we'll see you, hopefully, for not scary times next week.